Hey guys, how you doing? Mr. MphsVinylJim and the Memphis. Hey y'all! I love that, by the way. I get excited every time I hear it. So I'm really sorry that I didn't get to do your last contest, actually. But, in all actuality, you made that joke. So let's just, let's just call it a day and let's just be done with it and be cool with each other, and let's just say that I show my stones. This is Mary Stone. I guess I'm the slave one. She doesn't really care about it as much as I do. I just think it's cool to hold on to and think about the sermon, so I'm going to hold on to both our stones. So I'm showing you my stones now. You know what? I'm going to put them up here with my vinyl of her. There we go. Cool. So I'm going to do your mini contest. I'm excited about this. So let's get into it. To start off with, I'm going to play for you my favorite song, and get that going, of the album I want to talk to you about for your first question. It's the one I really like the most on this record. It's Procol Harum, White Shade of Pale, a whiter shade of pale. Now, what I'm doing is I'm talking about who I'm choosing is my mother. She just sort of thinks I'm like crazy. She's like, oh man, him and his records, But I thought about this record. I was like, you know what? She listens to music, but she's not like me, like being so big on certain artists, except maybe like a Garth Brooks. But I thought I'd show you this. This is the Big Chill soundtrack. Now the reason why I chose this one with my mother is because it's funny. For years now, and she even said just recently, a couple weeks ago, Mary. She brings up to me Mary all the time, and to me all the time too. She always says, "Oh, you have to see the Big Chill. You have to see the Big Chill. It's just a great movie." And I'm not saying it's not a great movie, but I just haven't seen it. I still haven't seen it to this day. There's a couple of those movies where people always tell you to, and you just never get around to it. And this. I'm sure this one's better. I know the story about it and all, and I'm sure it's pretty good, but I still put it together with all the 80s movies by like John Hughes, even though it's not a John Hughes movie. But I know Kasdan's a good director, right? So anyway, it's a really cool soundtrack though. Like if you're like in that type of mood for like the old 70s, 80s sound, it's Motown Records. It has people like Marvin Gaye with I Heard Through the Grapevine, Temptations, My Girl, which is a great movie actually, My Girl. Good Love, The Rascals, Smokey Robinson, The Miracles, Three Dog Night, Joy to the World, Natural Woman, Aretha Franklin, I Second That Emotion, Smokey Robinson, The Miracles, Procol Harum. See, I just think this song sounds really nice. I just like the organ sound to it. So I'm not really that familiar with Procol Harum except seeing their records being shown or catching in the store, but I never buy any of them. So, but yeah. So for your first question, to show a record of someone that's been a part of your life in the month of May, going with the Mother's Day route, we got the Big Chill from Mama Henderson. Now, I'm going to bust out the second record for the second question. There's one to look for. You can probably get pretty cheap, my man Andy. I think Andy said he wanted to collect the Motowns, right? Like the way you guys collect the Suns, because he's from Detroit. I showed this in a video. I think this might have been the first video that me and Mary did. Or Mary was in it, or one of the first ones. This is a record from a guy named, just for the world record, a guy named Hari Om Sharan. It's on EMI, stereo copy. Album's called Pushpanjali. And it's just really, really cool Hindi music. I'll read it back to you. Born at Lahore, now in Pakistan, 40 years ago, Hari Om Sharan would have been a very good painter, for in his childhood he displayed quite a promising talent in drawing and painting. But destiny willed it otherwise. He was gifted also with a very sweet, mellow voice. However, he did not even dream of a singing career. That is why he never had any lessons in classical music. While yet in his teens, he was profoundly impressed by the devotional singing of a fakir, and he started humming the same words and tunes. This gave him inspiration to learn more bhajans. The tunes are called bhajans, and very soon he discovered that it was devotional music for which he would live his whole life. During his sojourn to the Himalayas in quest of God, he came across a great saint, Swami Darshan Anandji, who paved his way to the company of saints like him. Hari Om Sharan gathered all the inspiration and wisdom from these distinguished personalities. Swami Krishnad advised him never to forsake his parents. Hari Om Sharan has followed this advice, and although he keeps on strolling all over distant places, he always comes back to his aged parents and attends on them. Traveled widely all over the East as far as Japan and the Philippines, he has won hundreds of admirers. His voice is so sweet and replete with soulful expression, regales his listeners and carries them to a spiritual and divine trance. His virtuosity as a composer and singer can well be gauged by listening through the two sides of this disc. It will be an unforgettable experience. And I love it. It's from 72. It's very entrancing. It's cool to know these are all like devotional songs. And I just feel cool having it because I saw these like Hindi records in this Goodwill when I got it, but a lot of them are like Bollywood, and I spotted this one, I saw this record, and I said, look at this guy. He's obviously a guy who, has the hand of God placed on him. So I was like, let's go for this, and it didn't let me down. And I think it's really cool because I just, not to say like I'm like, making it a big deal like I'm all special, but I just feel like this isn't like an album that like many people are going to come across owning. You know what I mean? Maybe in India, but it's a very enjoyable listen, relaxing. Now the last one, that was fun. I came up with some pretty quick choices for it. I'll play one of them for you. Pretty tense, huh? You'll see. I like this, guys. So you wanted 3 albums that are different from each other. They make you think, what's going on? Like, what are these 3 doing together? So this first one here is Dimmu Borgir, Death Cult Armageddon, Norwegian black metal. I was glad to find this record for a cheap price, used only $10. Awesome artwork. The artwork in the CD book that I used to have is more intense. And the vinyl, actually I only got it for $8. And it's a double LP. And the vinyl, I don't have too many colored vinyls, but this must be the coolest one I own. It's really cool, right? I love it. And it's funny because I show, thinking about Mary and, being Christian and all, she probably saw this and was like, she said something to me like, you gotta be careful with that stuff. She's just cute. But, I just used to listen to this in high school. I had this CD, I loved it, and I don't listen to too many of these songs, so when I find too many of these records, so when I see one that I used to listen to, I'm going to pick it up. But it's funny because it has like this whole like, I don't want to say anything incorrect. It's like some type of satanic type of star or something like that, but I'm not going to get into it because I don't know details. But anyway, going from this, I think it'd be funny to lead you into Evie on Word Records. She's just a super Christian hero. And this is an album of hers I love called Mirror. With that cool inside, but till you find him in the mirror, you've got a long way to go. So I just thought it'd be funny to compare listening to something like this, and then popping in and showing a really 70s Christian singer or songwriter that I also love, named Evie. This album's really good. And then just to throw it in there for the mix, basically I'm showing this one, well, first of all, you guys know I have a love for this album that will never die. So it's Limp Bizkit's Significant Other. And I thought it'd be fun to show this because, first of all, it's not Norwegian black metal, it's definitely not Christian music, and it's more like a nu metal sound. Sorry, Paulie, I know it's up your alley. But, plus, I just feel cool showing it because I love it. So, maybe I can get a photo, maybe I can get a little image the way you want it. Let's see. Here are my third. Say cheese! Alright guys, keep grooving the bluff. One love for you guys. Can't wait to see some more videos. Hope you enjoyed mine.